So guys, if you're just joining us, it's Dr. Mo here from Inspire Medics. This is the new batch of ambassador applicants program that we are doing a webinar on today. So this is the pre-sign up webinar. We have got two guest speakers. We're going to come on in about 10-15 minutes time. So for now, I can see Innocent has joined us. So welcome Innocent, who's one of our current ambassadors. You don't have to activate your mic or your camera just yet, Innocent, but we'll get you on in about 15 minutes if that's okay. So I can see there's lots of people joining. If you've just joined us, what we'd like to do is, if you could let us know which part of the world you're joining us from, and also roughly what time it is, so we know what time zone you're currently in, and then we'll officially get started in about 5 minutes. So a couple of housekeeping rules. There is a chat feature down at the bottom of Zoom. If you want to make any comments, discuss anything, you can discuss it in there. But if you have a question, please click on the Q&A icon in Zoom. That way you can submit a question and it can get flagged up to us. If you're just joining us, this is the Inspire Medics Ambassador Program new application batch. So we've had two current batches go through in the last 6 to 12 months. And we're now opening up the program to a new batch, and that's you guys. And we'll talk you through what the role involves, what the opportunities are, what you can do, and how the application process works. So I'm going to hand over to Dr. Sandhu, who can do a couple of shout outs for those of you who are updating us now. Let us know where you're joining us from, what the time zone is, and we'll get officially started in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, perfect. So welcome guys. So thank you for joining the iMedics Ambassador overview webinar. Just a quick one. So let us know whereabouts in the world you are, and also what you're kind of doing at the moment, whether it's PLAB or GP training or junior doctors or med students or even preparing for medicine, just so that we've got an idea as to where you guys are and what you're actually doing, what stage of your careers you're at. So I can see that lots of you are now starting to comment, which is great. So I'll start giving you a shout out. So just give me an update on those few things. So I can see we've got Amina from Leicester, and it's 2 minutes past 6. Welcome, Amina. Almaz from South Africa, where it's 8 o'clock in the evening. Fantastic. Ipsita from England, GMT, yeah, absolutely. Almaz from South Africa, as we said, 8 o'clock. Ria from England, it's 6 p.m. right now. Ishak from London, 2 minutes past 6. Manahul Butt from London. Reham from London as well. Michelle's from London. Nimra from Yorkshire. Marta Lipinski. Forgive me, Marta Lipinska, forgive me if we don't pronounce them correctly, who's in Poland at the moment, and it's 7 o'clock in the evening, so it's an hour ahead of the UK. Mansi Patel from the UK, Kenneth Archer from England, Siddharth Kumar from India, where it's 11:30 p.m. Fantastic. So quite late, Siddharth, but thank you for joining us and is preparing for PLAB 1 exam. Manahal Butt is currently in 6th form. Fantastic. Great to have young people engaging. So welcome, Manal. Noor Elabd from Saudi Arabia. Fantastic. 9 p.m. and last year of the GCSEs. Fantastic. So we've got someone all the way from the Middle East. Olufunke from Nigeria, where it's 3 minutes past 7. Fantastic. So Nigeria is an hour ahead of the UK. We've got Ojel from Rugby, where it's 2 minutes past 6, not too far from where we are, Ojel in Coventry. I make sure I don't miss anybody. I know that some of you, there we go. Reham is preparing to apply for medicine for a second time. Fantastic. Welcome, Reham. Mansi Patel in the UK, currently year 12, preparing for A-levels. Ruben is in Nigeria, and it's 7:02 p.m. Almaz is an A-level student from South Africa. Raymond from India is 11:30 p.m., also prepping for PLAB 1. Echi Choya from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, fantastic, for 3 minutes past 9. So again, a few hours ahead in Saudi Arabia. Ashim Chowdhury is in Canada and he's got his GMC registration. Fantastic news. Ahmed from Birmingham, not too far from us in Coventry. Welcome, Ahmed. Abdul Kareem, 4th year medical student from Pakistan. Welcome, Ahmed. We've got Eli Gori from England in year 12. Ellie Ora, sorry, not Ellie Gori, Ellie Ora from England from year 12, welcome. And then we've got Numra from Pakistan. It's 3 minutes past 11. Again, really late, so fantastic. Thank you for joining us. Final year medical student. We've got 5th year medical student from Nigeria, which is OUDJ. We've got Adnan from London. We've got Fatima from Birmingham. We've got Sarah Fazel, who's a medical student from Pakistan. Again, 4 minutes past 11, so very late joining us from Pakistan and India tonight. Ashim Chowdhury, it's 1 o'clock. Millie from Bulgaria, it's 3 minutes past 8, who's a med student. Welcome, Millie. So a couple of hours ahead of us in the UK, up in Bulgaria. Shortcut is Dr. Zaman here from Pakistan. Welcome, Dr. Zaman. Michelle Chowdhury, it's 6 p.m. in the UK. Olu Funke is preparing for PLAB 2. Michelle is in year 12. Dyke is Innocent Dyke. We know Innocent, of course, one of our current medical ambassadors who will be speaking shortly. Welcome, Innocent. Michelle has applied to medicine and got an offer. Fantastic. Congratulations, Michelle. Shortcut is, yeah, he's up very late. Absolutely. Michelle's in Manchester. And then we've got Naila Akhtar, who's just got her GMC registration, which is also great. Ipshita is a sixth form student preparing for A-levels, and of course, medicine applications. Fantastic. Sadhana from India. Preparing, so Adnan is preparing for the PLAB 1. He's an assistant physician in a hospital in London at the moment. Fantastic. So great to hear from everybody. I'm going to hand back over to Dr. Mo. So this is the iMedics Ambassador Program. We'll talk you through a few things. Surara has also just messaged from Nottingham preparing for the PLAB 2 exam. So some of you will realize that iMedics is obviously quite international. We've just done a fantastic teaching webinar for PLAB, which is an international exam that doctors sit who want to work in the UK. We've had people from all over the globe joining that. So we're not surprised when we see the ambassador program is so far and wide. And also our current ambassadors are also from different parts of the world and at different stages of training. Some are sixth formers, some are med students, some are junior doctors, some are GP trainees, some are international doctors who are hoping to work in the UK. So exciting next stage, and I will hand over to Dr. Mo.
So welcome everybody, it's Dr. Mo here, the co-founder of Inspire Medics, if you haven't met us before. And down below in the video shot is Dr. Sandhu, who's the other co-founder for Inspire Medics. So what we're going to do for everybody is give everybody an outline of who we are as an organization, who we'll be looking for to join our team, what the benefits are, what's required for the application process, and how do you actually apply. So this is going to be the third batch of ambassadors we take on board. The first batch we had, I think it was roughly 150 applicants, of which we whittled it down to 6 ambassadors who came on board. The second batch, I think we had roughly 230 applicants, of which we took on board 28 new ambassadors. And then this third batch so far, we've had, I think, approximately 230 applications once more. And of course, we'll take on as many ambassadors who fit the role as possible. Now, it's very, very important to know that the next batch, so we run this application program every 4 months roughly. But the next batch we think is going to be a mega batch. And the reason for that is one of our upcoming webinars is how to get into medical school. This is for UK candidates, UK students, how to get into medical school, the journey of a doctor in the National Health Service. And for that, so far, we have over 1,000 registrants. And so for those registrants, at some point, we are going to invite them to apply for the ambassador program if they're interested. And we expect that to be a massive turnout. So the ambassador program is only getting bigger with time. And we feel probably over time, we'll have to start becoming more stricter and stricter in terms of who we bring on board into the organization. But for now, you guys are the lucky ones who are attending today, and it's an amazing opportunity to obviously put it either onto your CV or your personal statement if you're a student, and going forwards into your careers. This looks good, obviously being part of an organization that helps to teach so many doctors. So who are Inspire Medics? So we're an online medical education company, and it's founded by myself, Dr. Mo, and Dr. Sandhu in 2017. That's 3 coming up to 4 years ago. So July 2017 was when iMedics was founded. We're a team based in the UK. We're actually based in Coventry. Coventry is a small city in the Midlands, south of Birmingham. So a lot of you would be familiar with London, Manchester, Birmingham. Birmingham's in the heart of the UK, and Coventry south of that. Both myself and Dr. Sandhu both grew up in Birmingham, and we were both born in the same hospital in Coventry as well, which is interesting, although we're a year apart. And I'll let you guys guess who's the older one. We've previously met with lots of different members of the National Health Service. So I've met up with the former Deputy Director of the National Health Service, Professor Mike Buick, back in 2018, I think, or 2019. He actually came to Coventry from London to meet up with our organization. And Dr. Sandhu is also a part of the National Health Service Clinical Entrepreneur Program, where he gets to meet high-level team members from the NHS, and they provide him with mentoring support, guidance, knowledge, and networking, which is an amazing program he's on. He went through a very rigorous interview process to get onto that program, and this allows us to obviously have an official part to our organization. In terms of how many doctors we've educated, so we're actually educating about 12,000 to 14,000 doctors a year. Going into the next 12 months, we expect that number to double to about 20,000 doctors per year. And going into the next 2 years, we expect that number to increase significantly. And the reason for that is we are now looking to go into the US markets, the Canadian markets, and the Saudi Arabian markets. So we're going to be looking to launch a free USMLE question bank, a free Canadian question bank. And as you're aware, the USMLE market is massive. So we expect our numbers per year to be about 100,000 doctors that will be educating as a conservative figure. But for now, we're educating, and this figure down below is really outdated now. 900 doctors, we're probably averaging about 1,200 doctors a year now, a month, that we're educating on our platform. So what is it that we do? What is it that iMedix does really well, and what is kind of our home turf, so to speak? So our goal as an organization is to provide the best free online question banks for now for UK medical exams, but eventually for all licensing exams in the world, which will include the USMLE, the Canadian entrance exam, the Australian entrance exam, the major entrance exams across the world that most doctors apply for, which are the most popular, are the ones that we're going to be doing. But for now, our focus is the UK medical exams, which can include, if you're a student in the UK looking to go into medicine, to become a doctor, you have the UK CAT, which is the medical school entrance exam. We'll be soon releasing a free version of this, so you can practice for it on our website. Very soon, the PLAB exam will become the UKMLA exam, the AKT, and that will occur in 2023. Again, we have a free UKMLA question bank and a free PLAB 1 question bank, and we're very close to getting to 3,500 questions, and eventually 4,000 and 5,000 free questions on our website. Then we have junior doctor exams. These are the junior doctor entrance exams, which are the FY1 SJT exams for UK medical graduates. And then we have a free specialty entrance exam called the MSRA exam. So if a doctor in the UK wants to specialize in anesthetics, psychiatry, general practice, they have to sit this entrance exam, which is a theoretical exam called the MSRA exam. And again, on our platform, we have a free MSRA question bank, which was highly used actually in the last 2 months because the exam was only a few weeks ago. Then we have the AKT exam for GP trainees, which again is completely free. It's got approximately 2,800, 3,000 questions, and that's if a doctor wants to become a family physician, so a general practitioner. And of course, we have an INR MCQ exam question bank, which is a free question bank for those looking to go back into medicine from Europe, and that's a specialist niche strand within the UK. So as you can see, our goal is to provide the best free online question banks for medical licensing exams in the UK. And very, very soon, you'll start to see international medical licensing exams becoming available for free on our website as well. And we have just started work on that in the last literally 7 to 10 days. What makes our question bank so special? So first things first, our question banks are completely free. We still get a lot of comments, and Shyam touched on this, one of our ambassadors. Is it true that your question bank is free? How much do you charge for your free question bank? And the truth is, they are completely free. It took me and Dr. Sandhu almost 3 years, including our team, to develop all the questions. And they're available not on an app at the moment, but certainly on a website, on a mobile device, on a tablet, on your mobile phones, and they look something like this. So you can actually bring up exam questions and practice them. We're one of the first ever companies ever to gamify the entire process. So what we do is, on the question banks, is we rank every single doctor, including yourself, into global rankings. So for example, this is the PLAB 1 game mode question bank, and you can see that we've ranked the top 20 doctors, and Dr. Swetha Jagia from India has got a score of 245,901 because he's managed to get 92.34% of his questions correct out of a total of 2,663 questions. So we're the first ever organization in the world, I'm not aware of any other organization that has gamified medical exam questions to allow you to compete in this table format, where you can compete with friends and colleagues and see where you score. So we have a scoring and ranking system nationally and internationally, and it's a nice fun feature, of course, for the website when you want to learn for exams and revise for exams. We're also one of the very first organizations in the world to have a very, very powerful search feature, which allows you to pick out questions which are relevant to your learning. So let's say you are learning for the PLAB exam and your area of weakness is meningitis. So you can type into our search box at the top in our question banks, meningitis, and the system will pull out all the meningitis questions. So there might be 20, 30, and you can practice those questions. And then tying into that, we have an AI, artificial intelligence system working in the background, which continually monitors your answers to your questions, and it starts to pick out weak areas. So you can see that this is probably me. My weak areas are antibiotics, macrolides, COPD, chlamydia, tetracycline, spirometry. And then if I was to click on these topics, the system will pull out all those questions. So then I can then practice them. And then the other thing that we have, which isn't shown here, is we have a powerful review feature. So you can go into all the questions that you've done so far, review them, and then pick out topics within those that you'd like to review once more. So if you want to, let's say, if I wanted to go into antibiotics, macrolides, I can go into all the questions that have already been done, pull out all the topics with regards to antibiotics, macrolides, and review those questions that I've already done. And that's something that we've recently launched literally in the last 4 weeks. Sharm, I don't think even you're aware of this, but I'll show you at some point. But it's an amazing, amazing new feature. And then finally, with regards to the AI intelligence we have in the background, we tell you where you're doing well, but also we tell you where you're not doing so well, and we color code it. So for example, if your strong areas are gastroenterology and obstetrics, the system will tell you in green that those topics are your strengths, and probably you don't need much more revision in those areas, but we'll highlight the topic areas where you're significantly weak and where you won't pass the exam. So infectious diseases, for example, respiratory, will come up in red depending on if you haven't done well on them, and the system will pick that apart for you. So in essence, in terms of the world first, we are one of the world's first ever organizations to give you a complete free question bank for the relevant licensing exams, so PLAB, AKT, MSRA. We're one of the world's first ever gamification exam medical education question banks. One of the world's first ever search features we have by topic. That's very, very new. And then finally, we have AI intelligence working in the background, picking out weak topics and then presenting them to you on a plate. So you can click on them in one go and then go on and learn about those and practice those questions. And we've spent a lot of time on this, on producing these resources. So I'm going to move away from this because there's a few more things. We've got 2 guest speakers that are going to come out, come to speak to us today, who are current ambassadors. Now, there are other services we provide. They're not core services. Our core services are free question banks, which we've touched on earlier. So these ones, and the international licensing exams, which we'll be releasing very, very soon. But we also do mock exams. We do exam coaching for like PLAB 2. We do video courses for PLAB 2, for example, or for the RCA exam. We do podcasts, and then we do some very, very niche services like visa applications, IELTS, OET coaching. We provide accounting services for the doctors who have started working in the UK. And then also very recently, we have a recruitment division to the organization where we can provide you and network you with jobs in hospitals and general practice as well. So these are some other services. And of course, if you go to our website, guys, you'll see a whole host of other things available on our website. So if I just do a quick screen share for a second. So we listed a PLAB webinar, which is why this is here. But if you go to our homepage and you were just to scroll down, you'll see a whole variety of different services that we provide. UKMLA free question banks. We are looking to go into the humanitarian charity division, humanitarian aid sector at some point in the next 2-3 years. We have an iMedics incubator, which incubates small businesses in the medical sector. We have patient information leaflets. We have a blog section for doctors and for patients. We have the ambassador program. There's opportunities to earn money if you become an affiliate, for example. There's a forum chat section, and then there's an advertising division to the organization. So lots of different things that we do. But if I bounce back into the PowerPoint that I had loaded a moment ago, because what we're now going to do is talk you through some of the benefits of the program. So what are the benefits of becoming an iMedics ambassador? Well, the first obvious one is you can put it on your CV or your personal statement. If you're coming to the UK, you're a PLAB doctor and you're going to start working for the National Health Service, they're going to look at your CV. And if you can put down on your CV that you've worked with 2 UK doctors as part of their organization, that will put you in very good stead for the jobs kind of sector. If you're a UK student or you're a student anywhere in the world, you can put it on your personal statement when you're applying to medical schools. And again, they will take it into consideration that you've worked with 2 UK doctors. And myself and Dr. Sandhu are 2 working GPs. We spend the majority, 90% of our times in iMedics, but we still spend 10% of our times in clinic. And what we do is we obviously see patients face to face. And between us, we have approximately 20 years of National Health Service experience as UK doctors. So we have a significant amount of experience between us. As ambassadors, you also get a 50% discount code on all products across the board. Before COVID, we would have said we get a yearly get-together social. So what we do there is everybody can come to Coventry in terms of the ambassadors. We'll have food on, guest speakers, special events, some entertainment. It'd be an amazing opportunity to connect with other ambassadors. And it's just a really nice social event that we put on for you guys once a year. And we're trying to get celebrity speakers on as well. So for example, Gus Khan, who's a comedian in the UK, who's born in the UK, who's been on BBC programs. We would try and get him invited to these socials, and of course allows you to kind of network with different people. Then we have monthly personal developmental webinars, which we are going to do these proper. We've done more kind of ambassador-based webinars, but we are going to launch developmental webinars for your CV, for your communication skills, for your personal development, so on and so forth. And then the other thing we do for all the ambassadors, which certainly Innocent and Shyam will be able to talk about, is we have an iMedics hoodie and ID card, which we send out. We look something like this. I don't have it on today. Mine is currently upstairs, but you get an embroidered hoodie, front, back, side on the arms. The organization that makes these hoodies is the same organization that provides the kits for Chelsea Football Club and the Emirates airline organization. And we went to one of the best companies in the world to get these developed. And also you get an ID card that you can show. And then there'll be lots of opportunities. There'll be volunteering opportunities going forward. So we have got a humanitarian strand to the business, to the organization at some point. And of course, as an ambassador, you're the first ones to know about all our new features. And finally, there's lots of opportunities to get involved. Me and Shyam and the team have been having, so Shyam's one of our ambassadors, have been having regular meetings over the last 2-3 weeks where the ambassadors will be able to do various projects. They can, for example, they can write blog articles, they can do podcasts for us, they can do video editing, graphic design, they can help out our digital marketing team. There's so many different projects you can get involved in, which will like boost your personal skills, your professional skills, and you can put on your CV, including obviously the things that we bring to the table. So that will be the special projects that we have in mind. So what I'm going to do, I'm wary of time because we've got 2 guest speakers and we've slightly overrun already. At the moment, we have 34 ambassadors, and the stars represent where in the world the ambassadors are. A lot of our ambassadors are in the UK and Scotland, and Wales as well, by the way. We have ambassadors based in Africa, so we have them based in Algeria, in Siberia. So this star up here is an ambassador based in Siberia. We have ambassadors from Nigeria, Kenya, Sri Lanka, India, Pakistan. We have them from Georgia. All those stars represent a location in the world where our current ambassadors are from. And it's an amazing way to connect with different doctors. So what I'd like to do is introduce one by one 2 ambassadors. We'll start off with Innocent to begin with, who's going to give a roughly 5 to 10 minute talk about his experience and his journey as an iMedics ambassador so far. So, and then after that, we'll introduce Shyam, who's also an ambassador. So Innocent is a medical student from Nigeria. Please correct me if I'm wrong, Innocent, if I got that wrong. But he'll be introducing himself. I'll get him to activate his camera and his mic, and he can basically talk a bit about his journey as an ambassador, what it's been like being an ambassador for iMedics. So if you give me a moment, Innocent, I will let's get you to activate. Yeah, so whenever you're ready, Innocent, if you'd like to introduce yourself and just tell us a bit about your experience as an iMedics ambassador and how you found out about the ambassador program.
Good evening, everyone. Can you guys hear me?
So we can hear you, and now we can see you as well, so that's amazing.
Okay. So I'm the king of 70 medical students. So school 2016, and for those in Nigeria, we know that the medical school in Nigeria is approximately 6 to 7 years. So I'm still in medical training to acquire my primary medical degree. So my journey so far in medical school has been, I'll say for those in Nigeria who can relate to this, it has been kind of tough. But because I got into medical school, I had a personal conviction to come into medical school to follow up on the medical career. So it has not been easy, but still, it's going fine and everything. So last year, when the WHO declared the COVID-19 as a global pandemic, then I got to like discover so many things about myself, because when I started medical school, it was just about reading books, writing tests, passing exam, reading books, passing tests, writing exam, a cycle like that. Well, last year, when they declared the pandemic and we had to take a break from medical school, and so we had a break from March last year till January this year because of the pandemic, and I got to discover so many things about myself. And so I keep asking myself so many questions that last year, after my medical degree, primary medical degree in Nigeria, what next? Where do I want to specialize? Where do I want to work? Questions like that. Then I came to a conclusion that, okay, I wanted to work outside Nigeria. So as a medical, I soon to be medical graduate from Nigeria. So where are the places medical graduates from Nigeria work? We get to know that it's US or UK. That's where most international medical graduates go to. Then after my research and everything, I decided to choose the UK, and then obviously you have to write the PLAB exam to go over to the UK to work as a medical doctor. Then so I had to make my findings like, well, what is PLAB? When do I need to write PLAB? So many questions were just coming to my head. So I just went on Google, then just typed PLAB, and I read so many articles on different websites from Nazia Khan, Aurora, so many. Then as I was still searching, I saw a website, iMedics. I was like, so what's this iMedics? And I clicked on it. And when I got into the website, okay, meaning of the I in the iMedics means Inspire Medics. Then I found out that it was different from other companies, other PLAB academics and all. Because apart from the questions, apart from the preparation in which other PLAB academics offer, and also iMedics offer. iMedics also, as a doctor, as a medical, to go into medical school, they want our personal development. And I found this very interesting, and that's what like triggered me to actually just search more about iMedics. Then I read about the founders, Dr. Moore and Dr. Sandu. Then um, about Dr. Sandu being part of the NHS clinical entrepreneurs. So that's actually like really, really great because it's actually a tough process to get that. So then after I read it, then when I was going through the website, I saw the ambassador program. I was like, this is great. Uh, this company actually want to make us pass our exam easily and also want to develop us as a doctor. So I was interested in the ambassador program. Then we had a webinar like this also. Then I got to attend the webinar where Dr. Moore and Dr. Sandu like just took us through uh, about the product of iMedics and everything about iMedics. And before then, I was attending their webinars about PLAB teachings. Although I'm not giving PLAB anytime soon, but still, I enjoy their webinars. So about after getting interested in the ambassador program, uh, we had the webinar. Then after the webinar, I sent an email about my application. Then I was picked for the interview process. Then I had to like pick a date and a time. So that was the first time where I had to like have an interview with international doctors, and I did not know what to expect. Maybe I don't know. Maybe Dr. Moore or Dr. Sandy would just come in and just ask, okay, innocent, say, what's the management of uh, acute otitis media or something. I didn't even know what to expect. But after the interview process and after I had my interview, I knew that it was just about our personal development and where we like where we get to see ourselves in the nearest future, how we can help iMedics and iMedics company to like grow bigger, how we can help the company in general. So it's not really a tough interview process. It's just really easy, really easy. So I hope, I don't know, maybe Dr. Sandro and Dr. Mo will be able to pick everyone from this webinar. And okay, I became an ambassador December last year, 2020. And that's really interesting because we are like the first people to know about any program which is going to be launched on the website. And Dr. Moore and Dr. Sandra actually treat us like the co-owners or founders of the company, because we have to like ask the ambassador that, okay, this is what they want to do. What do we think about it? So we get to give our opinions about it. And that's how do I put it now? The professional environment they create between their ambassadors and themselves is really, really great. And apart from that, we get to like have a personal relationship between two UK doctors, which is really, really great. And also, I think it talked about the iMedics UDI and ID card, although my own has not gotten to Nigeria yet, but it's really fantastic. Those that have gotten their own in the UK, snaps, they took pictures and sent it to the group. UDI really fantastic, ID card really fantastic, and I've really been enjoying my role as ambassador so far, giving tasks which we can easily perform, and it has been really, really great. And so why would like all of us here to apply for the interview is that apart from the free question banks, the communication, the gamification, everything on the a personal development from this ambassador program is really, really going to like help us become a very good doctor. So I think Dr. Moore, Dr. Sandhu, that's all I have to say for now.
Amazing. Innocent. So thank you, Innocent, for obviously telling us about your story and your journey. Innocent, everybody, is a medical student in Nigeria. He is a current iMedics ambassador since December 2020, and he's just outlined his views on the ambassador journey process in terms of the application and what he's found useful so far. And we certainly are going to accelerate the personal developmental side of things for the ambassadors very, very soon. So Innocent, thank you for taking the time out. Thank you for obviously volunteering to be a guest speaker today. And I'm sure we'll be in touch very, very soon. So big thumbs up from our side and from Dr. Sandhu as well. So thank you so much. I'm going to get on our next guest speaker because I'm aware that he's 5 hours ahead, I think. So he's approaching midnight, if not midnight, at this moment in time. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Dr. Shyam Nias, who is a doctor from Sri Lanka, and he's also an iMedics ambassador. So without further ado, Shyam, if you'd like to go ahead and introduce yourself, and I'm sure you've got a 5-10 minute spiel lined up. And apologies for the slight delay in the timing, because I know you wanted to perhaps.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
We can, yes.
All right. Okay. Right, that should be, my video's on, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, hi, my name is Dr. Shyam Nias. I'm a junior doctor here in Sri Lanka. I studied in Nepal. That is where I did my MBBS. And I run the Aging Dr. Brown Instagram page, which documents my whole PLAB journey. So I am post PLAB 1. I passed that, and I'm waiting for a PLAB 2 seat, which is a bit scarce at the moment. But yeah, so I'm trying to maximize what I can do in that time. So just to dive right into how I came to know about Inspire Medics. What happened was just before I started doing PLAB, I was trying to get myself fully registered in Sri Lanka. And due to the pandemic and other delays, we didn't have an exam for a very long time, a licensing exam here. And because of that, through frustration, I was looking for another exam to do and to really move on in my career. So in looking for another exam, what I found was I found myself drawn to PLAB because I lived in the UK for a while. And as a child, and I remember it fondly, and therefore it was sort of drawn to that. And also during my stint in Nepal, I interacted with quite a lot of British medical students, and from how they explained the NHS, I was very much drawn to it. But I was never really confident enough to pull the trigger as to, give up this exam that I had in Sri Lanka and move towards becoming a doctor in the UK. And then just randomly, my brother forwarded me this Instagram post talking about this free webinar where it will be a PLAB 1 orientation. And I didn't really think much of it. I registered for the webinar and I got a Google notification from my calendar that day. And I thought, okay, so I'm free today. Let me just attend this and see what it's about. And then, lo and behold, this is my introduction to iMedics. So they had one of these webinars with just this started cast of like the PLAB giants, and they were explaining it to me. And particularly Dr. Mo and Dr. Sandhu were explaining it in this journey and working in the NHS and living in UK and little things like how much food costs and where you'd stay and stuff like that. And it seemed like a very homely group of people, and I was very much drawn to it. And that day I decided, okay, PLAB is the journey for me, and I proceeded with that. And that was last July. And this January, it came to a point where I was actually one of the panelists for that same webinar just 6 months later. So it's really funny how things turn out and how things progress. So yeah, I'm massively indebted to Dr. Mo and Dr. Sandhu for the opportunities they've given me. And the reason I had these opportunities is because I became an ambassador. And So let me just start with how the interview went. Yeah. So first of all, I was invited, I don't know how, but I was invited to attend this webinar in December, I think. And after attending this webinar, they asked us to send them an email explaining why you want to be an ambassador and why you're interested. And immediately, the first thing I was drawn to was the humanitarian effort. Yeah, I don't know, just struck a chord within me, and I really, really wanted to do it. And so, obviously, if you want to do humanitarian work, you can join, I don't know, the Doctors Without Borders or something like that. Yeah, or but it just felt right for somebody who is moving into this new career path, into this new country, to grow with an organization which seemed to be at its inception. I wouldn't say infancy because they have been around for a while, but at its inception. And so I was very much drawn to that. And I explained to them in my email, I was very frank with them, and I told them, this is what I plan to do, this is how I plan to be, and this is what I want to do with my career, excuse me. And they were pretty straightforward, and they replied saying that, yeah, they would like to interview me. And I was like, okay, cool, that's nice. I went for the interview. Like Innocent said, I wasn't really sure what to expect. I was pretty certain I was not going to get asked about otitis media, but I still didn't know what to expect. So I went for the interview, and it just seemed like a very friendly chat among mates. And I didn't know whether to call them sir or not, because, as people know from this part of the world, that's what you call your superiors. But it was just such an informal and such a pleasant chat to have. And we had a long chat. We went over time. And a couple of weeks later, I got a confirmation saying that, yes, they'd like me to be part of the ambassador program, and that was that. So my advice to you is, when you apply, I'm sure Dr. Mo and Dr. Sandhu will tell you about the application process. When you do apply, make sure that you mention why you want to be an ambassador. Actually tell them, this is what interests me, this is why I want to do it, and also mention what special skills you have. And why I say that is because they expect the ambassadors to work as much as they're comfortable to work. And so if you want to be somebody who can, if you have an idea for how they can develop the company, how you can be a part of that, you can actually talk to them, and they will your opinions and your ideas actually considered. It's valuable to them. No idea is stupid, no opinion is too small, and they always do consider it. And I find that a very nourishing thing, because we're all, I can speak about myself, I'm very much in the infancy of my career, and maybe not all my ideas are good ideas, but they do always talk to me about them. And they ask me, why do you think that and why not? And more often than not, they do accept my ideas. So because of that, I've become I feel very free talking to them about things that I feel like they can develop, and like they take me seriously. And that way, together we can grow this whole medics thing and push it to greater heights. And soon, maybe the humanitarian thing will become a truth. So yeah, be sincere, tell them about your skills, and that's how you would move forward in the application process. So yeah, like I said earlier, you can be as involved as you want. They give you tasks, and very little tasks that don't really take much time. And you are as involved as you need to be. So it's quite nice that way. What else should I ask? Yeah, so as far as the pros go with working with Inspire Medics, if you talk, it's about working with 2 GPs in the UK. So if you're in medicine or you're looking to move to the UK, that is invaluable. It's not just about putting it on your CV, actually. That's what I thought to begin with as well. But it's just that if you're stuck, they can always give you some advice. If you have a doubt, they can always answer this doubt for you. If you have no one else to answer it, because obviously don't pester them with little doubts, but if you are actually stuck, they can help you. And it also creates an opportunity to interface with the existing ambassadors. I mean, you can meet people from Africa, you can meet people from Sri Lanka, you can meet people from one of the Scandinavian countries. It's just all over the world. So it's a nice opportunity to interface and network. So that's nice. And then if you're planning to move to the UK, it's nice to make connections right away. Like I said earlier, the humanitarian effort was what drew me to it. But then after I came in, I understood the complexity of it and how delicate and nourishing they are about each individual thing they touch. They try to put in so much effort, and it's actually nice to see they're really passionate about what they do. And if they want to bring you on board, that means they trust you to be passionate with what they've built. And that's quite a nice feeling. So like I said, it's very rare to be involved with a company. And rather, if you talk about the fact that they're giving a free question bank out for PLAB, which I don't know anybody else who does that, it's a service. So to be involved in a service that's looking to learn from you while you learn from them and sort of grow together, I don't see a better option. So yeah, unless anybody has any questions, I think I'm done.
Amazing, Shyam, thank you so much. And I feel like I need to pre-record this, but sorry for keeping you up so late at this hour.
No, I'm sorry I couldn't stay longer. Yeah.
Okay, so very, very quickly, does anybody have any questions for Shyam? Because we'll let him go and obviously get some rest because he is in Sri Lanka local time compared to the UK. Okay, so I think mainly the questions are around how do you apply. So in that case, Shyam, thank you so much for taking out the time today. You didn't have to, but you did jump on at the last minute. We do appreciate it. I'm aware you've got some stuff going on in the coming week or so, but we will catch up soon in that case.
All right. Thanks, guys, for having me. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much, Shyam. I'll get some rest.
Bye-bye.
And I think Shyam's got lots of comments coming in saying thank you. Okay, guys, we'll move on because I'm sure you're all keen to now know how do you actually apply to the ambassador program. So a couple of things before we move on to that. The first thing is what we're looking for is very important to know this before you apply. We are looking for ambassadors who are going to be ambassadors career long. So what we mean by that is we're looking to have Inspire Medics as an organization that's going to last the next 20, 30, 40 years, hopefully. And if you're a medical student now, we'd love for you to be with us when you're a junior doctor, a senior doctor, a consultant, and then obviously towards the end of your career as well. So this role isn't something that you should be thinking of, oh yeah, it's 1-2 days, 1-2 months, or 1-2 years. We expect you to come into it looking at as a lifelong career ambassador role. That's the first thing. Second thing is we expect professionalism, and what we mean by that is what the GMC will be consider a good, what the GMC would consider a good doctor. So if you go onto the GMC website, there's guidance on what a good doctor is supposed to behave like, you know, how they're supposed to behave on social media, engage with patients, and so on and so forth. And that's the level of professionalism we expect from Inspire Medics. Thirdly, we expect enthusiasm. We would love individuals who are enthusiastic, and of course those who have good ideas. So if you've got good ideas, you're entrepreneurial perhaps, or you're this generally somebody who's very creative, or you feel like you can obviously be an amazing part of a team, we would love to hear from you. And so the ambassador role itself involves 4 or 5 different aspects. One of the aspects will be collecting emails from friends, colleagues, or other doctors and friends and people that you know who are interested in coming into medicine, becoming doctors, using free question banks, or simply interested in iMedics. Your role will also involve answering queries. So we give you an induction on that, like, okay, so iMedics offer a free question bank. How do I get to it? And that's part of your role, answering those questions. Generating ideas. Lots of ambassadors come to us with ideas. We always listen to them, and most of the time we action those ideas and they become real life things. Like it's an idea in your mind, and then it goes to a real life thing on the website. And then there is an element where we do expect you to do some stuff on social media, some postings, Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, for example. And most of our ambassadors are doing that. And of course, to promote our products and services, which is always going to be the role of an ambassador. So that's the over kind of overview of the role for an ambassador. Now, how do you actually apply to this role? So the first thing you need to do is, if you want to apply to this role, and I suggest you do it right now, like you're on the webinar, you've got 10-15 minutes to spare, you may as well do it now. And what you need to do is email us at info@i-medics.co.uk, and you need to complete these 2 questions. So the first question you need to answer is, why would you make a good iMedics ambassador? That's the first question you need to answer. Hopefully it's not 1 sentence, a paragraph will be nice. And then the second part of the question is, what part of the country/world are you in? And what stage are you at? So for example, my name's Dr. Mo, I'm a GP in Coventry in the UK. So that's the 2 questions we need answering, which is why would you make a good iMedics ambassador? And number 2, what part of the country/world are you in and what stage of your career? And then once you've sent that email into us, we will then shortlist all the candidates to be shortlisted for the interview process. So we'll invite you in, obviously, because of the COVID pandemic, for a Zoom interview, and you'll be notified by email. You'll be given an option to choose different days, different time slots. And then myself and Dr. Sandhu and one or two of the ambassadors who will be on the panel will interview you for this. This is outdated, for the third batch, which will be, the interview process will be roughly in about 3 to 4 weeks time. So how do you apply for this iMedics role? You need to answer 2 questions via email. First question is, why would you make a good iMedics ambassador? i.e., what are your skills, what are your strengths? And number 2, what part of the country and world are you in, and what part of your career are you at? And then we'll shortlist the candidates based on the answers to these 2 questions. You'll be notified by email. You'll be able to choose your interview slot. So whenever you are free, we'll be able to slot you into that interview slot. And then you'll be interviewed by myself, Dr. Sandhu, and 1 or 2 other ambassadors who are a current part of the program. So what we'll do at this point in time is we'll go ahead and we'll actually go ahead and take some questions from everybody. So let's see. So if you guys want to type in questions into the chat box, now's the time to do it. So let's start. Vikas, do you want to do the questions from the top then?
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, so let's go to the Q&A. So Anonymous, I'm not sure if the batch finishes, do we continue? I don't know what that, if the batch finishes, do we continue after the time? I'm not sure what that was meant. Might be some clarification there. Anonymous question. Aisha, sorry, I have to leave because of job commitments. How can I send my CV? So Dr. Mo will type that into the email us at info@i-medics.co.uk. So that's for everybody. There'll be an email going into the chat. And Aisha, sorry I joined late. Is there anything important I've missed? So Aisha, we've heard from 2 of our current ambassadors, Innocent and Sharm. Both did a fantastic quick overview of the process and their experiences so far. And Dr. Mo gave an overview of the program, i.e. benefits to us and benefits to you from the program. But there's nothing major to recap. I mean, I'm not sure when you joined, but hopefully you will have caught most of it. So Anonymous's question, what skills did the ambassadors develop? Very good question. So remember, it's early on in the process, but for example, both Sharm and Innocent have developed one thing today, which is public speaking. So they've spoken in front of 60+ people about their experiences with their camera on. And although me and Dr. Mo are quite used to this, actually that can be quite daunting depending on what stage of your career you're at. And even doctors and stuff struggle with that. So that's a simple skill, confidence, the ability to kind of communicate to a large audience and give succinct information. Sharm was also involved in the IMG conference that we gave. So again, that was an opportunity to develop a skill set of public speaking. He's also been involved in some of our social media work. So there's lots of skills that you've got the opportunity to develop. Obviously, looking at Instagram, creative work, there'll be something in there for everybody. Some people will say, well, I'm not really good on social media, in which case they may do something slightly different. Other people may be more creative and say, well, actually, let me design you a learning card, so lots of things that you can do. Anonymous has another question, or there's an anonymous question rather. Do we need a social media to promote this? So ideally you should, and if you do get onto the program, we will run a more formal webinar, but you don't have to. And if you don't have social media, or you don't want to have social media because you don't like it or what have you, that's perfectly fine as well. There are several ways in which you can get involved with iMedics, for example, simply word of mouth or WhatsApp, or getting involved with your schools or colleges or universities or hospitals. So lots of different ways. How do you apply? So the email address has gone in. So as Dr. Mo said, you send an email with if you've got a CV, obviously forward that on to us to the email info@i-medics.co.uk. In the subject, it's good to put ambassador application, just so that our team will know what it's about, and a couple of lines really. So why you want to be an ambassador and what you think you will bring to the program, and of course tell us where you are in the world and what level you are in your training. So I think that will also answer Akshar's question, which was, how do I be an ambassador? So you now know what you need to do. Same with the next question. Oh, no, you don't. Okay, so Anonymous's question was, how old do you have to be an ambassador? Very good question. There is no age restriction. So we have current 6th formers. In fact, I think the youngest one is a young lady in year 9 who is our who wants to do medicine in the future. and she's she's based in the UK. She's our youngest ambassador. I do still remember interviewing her, and you know, we were quite surprised, but you know, she's on the program, and it's great for her development at such a young age. And obviously there are older people, there are doctors and stuff all over the globe at various different ages who are on the program. Anonymous question is how big a commitment will this be? Will we need to be flexible with how often do we do our roles? Very good question. So it's not a taxing role, as of course Sharm and Innocent have already mentioned. It's a relatively flexible, and actually it doesn't require, it's not a 9-to-5 job. It's probably more 1 to 2 hours a month. Some people will do more, some will do less, and there'll be opportunities for you. So that we may give you an opportunity to talk at a conference, you know, be part of our medical school work experience. So you may be, you know, have an opportunity there, and that's good for your self-development as well as certificates for your portfolios, depending on what stage of your careers you're in. But it's not a hugely taxing commitment. Ria's got a question. Hiya, would you be able to explain more in detail what a UK sixth form student would do as an ambassador? Very good question. So the sixth form guys that are involved at the moment are basically involved in collecting emails and kind of promoting the company to their schools, careers advisors and sixth form. They also help us promote our virtual medical school work experience, which is only $19.99, so very cheap to make it accessible to everybody. So the guys normally get involved in that. And also they promote us on social media. That's pretty much it. I mean, there's nothing drastic, you know, collection of emails of any students that are interested in the program. And obviously, you know, they get lots of self-development in return. You get the opportunity to talk, you know, if you want to, for example, volunteer at the work experience, or you may become an interviewer at a panel for some of the interviews that we do for medical students, which is very good if you are a sixth former, because you get an insight into the mindset of people who are a little bit ahead of you in the journey. So, you know, that would be kind of useful for you for those reasons. Anonymous, is there a word limit for the application? No strict word limit, but obviously don't make it into a massive essay. So one of the styles is important that you try and summarize key information about you as an individual in a paragraph, you know, so that, you know, you basically keep the reader engaged. Anonymous question, have you taken in A-level students? Have you taken any A-level students as ambassadors? Yes, we have. We have current year 12 and year 13 students on the program. Do I need any experience? No, you don't. So obviously, if you've got experience as an ambassador from someone before, that's great. But remember, this is part of self-development. So as you go through the program, we hopefully will, you know, make you feel a lot more comfortable and confident at doing various different tasks. Reham, what do you look for in a candidate when shortlisting for interviews, and what characteristics are fundamental in interviews that you look for in a future ambassador? So basically simple things, punctual. So obviously turn up on time. You know, if you've agreed a time, it's good to be on time. Be confident, have ideas, you know, so be ambitious in terms of what you want, what you feel what you feel you can offer the company. So what is it about you that you feel would make you a good ambassador? What skills do you have? What connections do you have? What have you, maybe you've done something before, maybe you haven't, but you may turn around and say, look, I'm, you know, or it might be some kind of something you want to gain from us. But just make that clear in the interview. But it's relatively informal, as the guys have already mentioned. Can I apply for an ambassador even though I'm still in sixth form? Yes, you can. Can I apply for ambassador even, okay, so we've done that. What if my interest is a career outside the UK, like Australia? Not a problem. I mean, you know, your life will change as you go through it. We've got international ambassadors from all over the globe, so not an issue if you want to go to Australia in the long run. What do you look for in most ambassadors? Already answered that one. When was iMedics discovered? So iMedics was set up in June 2017. So about 3 years now. Will we be able to do the work experience from Noor Jahan? Yes, of course, we can get you involved in that. Olafunke, can you submit answers tomorrow, or is there a deadline? The deadline is 7 days from now, but of course, the quicker you get it in, the quicker you can get it off your chest. Ariana, if I currently don't have social media, am I still able to apply? Also, do you require our CVs? So if you're not on social media, not a problem. It's not going to restrict you from applying. Obviously, those who do have a good social media handle, it's always nice, but it's not strictly speaking just on the criteria. And yes, if you've got a CV, do send it to us so we can have a look. And we've answered that one. Is there a deadline? So 7 days from now. How old do you have to be? No age limit. How long will the application process be? Probably within the next few weeks. You will hear from us once you've. So it'll probably take us about 3 weeks or so to get things in order, get you in for an interview. So hopefully in about 6 weeks from now, you'll be in a position where you'll know what's going on. How many ambassadors will you be taking? There's no strict limit, so we go based on the quality of the candidates. What is your input on individual CVs as an IBESIX ambassador? So again, if you look at Innocent and Sharm, they've done something today. Obviously, if you're not proactive as an ambassador, and you just kind of take it and you just disappear and we never see you again, then there's probably no point in coming to us and saying, can you write me a letter? But obviously with lots of the ambassadors are like Sharm, they're like Innocent, they'll get involved, and the guys probably could have gone, but they've stayed, but they don't have to stay, but they have, and that's absolutely fine. But lots of the ambassadors get involved in different roles, and so it makes it easy for us if we're going to write a CV cover letter for someone in the future. We've got things to actually say that, so and so spoke at the following events, or so and so, handled our social media posts and so forth. Lots of things that show different skills that employers are looking for: leadership, communication, creativity. Echi Choya, how far is iMedics on the path of humanitarian and volunteering projects? Very good question. Probably delayed because of COVID. We were on the process of becoming a registered charity. We have got the links. We've done, so I worked as a GP in Greece as a volunteer for the refugees there, as well as in Bangladesh in the Rohingya refugee camps, which is the largest camp in the world. And Dr. Mo also came out, but that seems like a lifetime ago now. It was in 2018, I think. And plans were in place to fast track everything. But obviously now that we've got COVID, things have been restricted dramatically. So probably over the next 2 to 3 years, but you just never know with how things are changing. We have got some partners and we have got some other organizations that are interested in partnering up with us in terms of the humanitarian work. How many people will be accepted? So there's no restriction. If I'm not shortlisted, will I be told that? Of course, we will let anybody who applies and comes for an interview told. So qualities of a good doctor and a good med student. So good skills, teamwork, leadership, confidence, communication, time management, being proactive, showing that you've got the ability to be creative. These are the kind of skills that they look for in doctors and students. Shortcut, can I send the questions answer later as I'm going to attend patients? Absolutely, you can indeed. So he's going to the ER. You don't have to do it right now. Obviously, do carry on with your clinics and your ward stuff. Where do we apply? Will we receive a link or do we just email you? That's a question from Louise, and that's just an email to the link which Dr. Mo sent, and anonymous. If you're not chosen, how will you know? You will receive an email from us. So that was the Q&A. And I think that's it, because a lot of the questions are very similar from aside from that. So key thing is the info. You can see the email on your screen. Get one done probably in the next 24 hours, but you have got 7 days, so no rush. Why you'd make a good ambassador, what skills you think you've got that will make you an asset to our ambassador program, where in the country you are, where in the world you are, and of course what level you're at, whether you're a sixth former, med student, junior doctor, international doctor, and then we'll look to hopefully get people into the interviews over the coming weeks, and then we will take it from there.
Amazing, guys. So thank you for joining us today. If, of course, you are in a different time zone, or even if you're in the same time zone as us, perhaps a little bit more tricky now if you're a bit further along in terms of the night. I want to do a quick shout out to Sharm and Innocent once more. I think they're still hovering in the background. So big thank you to you two guys. Really appreciate it. And it's something we won't forget going forwards. Yeah, hopefully, Innocent, your hoodie arrives with you at some point. I know we had a different address and then we changed it, but hopefully it'll be with you soon. The COVID pandemic has caused lots of delays on transits internationally. And then for those of you who attended today, we look forward to your applications. We'd love to hear from you, see you, have a chat with you in the interview process, and of course, bring you on board as iMedics ambassadors and integrate you with the rest of the team. So thank you for taking your time out today, for joining us this evening, wherever you are in the world. I don't think there's anything else to add. If anyone else has got any more questions, please let us know now. If not, we're going to wrap this webinar up. It has been recorded, so what we may do is put it onto YouTube, but we'll just run it past the digital marketing guy, Max, who's part of our team. So lots of thank yous coming in. I think we'll wrap up then, VCAS, in that case. So big thank you once more to the two guest speakers, Innocent and Sharm. Big thank you to all you guys for attending today. Do stay safe for you guys and your family during this global pandemic. I'm sure Dr. Sandhu will wish you all the same, and we look forward to hearing from you very, very soon. Okay, take care, guys. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.